Good morning. Take a look at that. Look at that spotlight. This is the blessing we have at St. John's Academy. God is putting a spotlight on his son. And a spotlight on what looks to be, well, what would be a horrifying sight if we didn't have the resurrection. But we know that that's not the end. It's only the beginning. And as we start to end this school year, we are at the point in our virtues study that we are reviewing. And as I was thinking about that, I thought, so just go back to the basics of what is virtue? We want to be like Jesus. We want to be a saint. We want to do God's will. And how can we boil that down to one thing to focus on for this week? And I think it's so simple, and it's so difficult. Love. Look at the spotlight on the crucifix in front of you. That is love. And our world has a very warped definition of love. And I think maybe part of it is right, but it's love of self. Like that's what we seem to focus on, is love of self. And are we supposed to love ourselves? Absolutely. We know what it's like to be in those moments where we don't love ourselves. And I think in middle school, that can be a real problem because we can be so hard on ourselves. And honestly, kind of throughout every other part of your life too, FYI. Because we beat ourselves up about mistakes. I should have done this. I should have done this. What did they think of me when I did this? We're so worried. And then it's so easy to have that conversation turn into things that are the opposite of love. Not only actions, but what we see in the mirror. And it's so easy to just have that idea of love stop there. Like it's self-focused. And then love becomes selfish. And look again at the spotlight in front of you. We cannot let our love become selfish, because what would happen to us if that spotlight in front was on selfish love? We would be doomed. So yes, let's love ourselves. We are God's children. He created us. We are beautiful. No matter what we might look in the mirror and try to compare with other people, God made us amazing. But it's not just about love of self. Virtue, love of other, and putting that first. And that, I think, is where society gets it wrong. We want to put love of self first, and then maybe if there's something else left over, we would maybe be able to put it to the other. And we see the destruction in that. If we live with selfish love for ourselves and not for other, think about how destructive that is. What does that mean in friendships and relationships? Do friendships strive when someone has selfish love and everything they do is for their own selfish love? No, that destroys relationships with friendships. Think about marriages. If there is selfish love, marriages do not survive that. Look at our society. Yes, we have to love ourselves, but we cannot forget the equally, if not more important piece of love of other. And if we can put that as the focus of our action, that is virtue. And that is what brings true happiness. Just the other week I talked about how we can look at behaviors and say, if it was okay for everybody to do this, would it be okay? And that's a real easy way to figure out what's right and what's wrong. Like, well, if it's okay for one person to steal, well, this doesn't really hurt anything. What if everybody did? We can't operate like that. So let's flip that over this week. What if everybody did the love for other? What if every word spoken was kindness and uplifting? What if every action we did was to be helpful to somebody else? Think about that for a minute. And when I try to picture that world, do you know what I come up with? Heaven. Could we have heaven on earth? Yes. If we were able to love like Jesus. And it seems so simple, just love each other. But how many of you know that that's a hard thing to do? It's hard to fight that selfish inclination. It's hard to fight the greed that we have, the jealousy that we have. We have to try to focus on others. So as we get to these last few weeks of school, try to bring yourself back to that in the classroom. It's not about you. It's not about, it's not just about me. It's not that selfish love. But it's about everybody else. Don't be the loudest. Don't be the one always talking. Don't interrupt. Don't say something unkind about somebody else. Don't give somebody a bad look. Don't complain out loud. Think if we took all those things away, what kind of a classroom environment would we have? It would be amazing. It would be an example of heaven. Let's try to create that within the walls of our school this week. Take love of self seriously. Love who you are. God created you. Shut that negative talk down that you say to yourself every day. And focus on the good for the other. I think we would be shocked at how happy we all would be. And we might be happy now, but it would take it to a level of joy. So let's have that be our focus for this week.